I'm Specialist Mike Brennan out here at Fort Wilson in Kandahar, Afghanistan. Just like to give out a shout out to my friends and family back home in Atlanta, Georgia. I hope you all have a happy holiday. I'll be seeing y'all soon.
Hi, I'm Specialist Simko, Charles Simko, working in Afghanistan, Kandahar province, Fort Wilson. Just wanted to give a shout out to all my family back in Ironwood. Mom, Dad, love you guys. All the family back in Missouri, love you guys, and I hope you have a happy holidays, and I will see you soon.
A hero isn't always that person everybody's talking about. Sometimes it's that person behind the scenes that's making it happen. Someone at a Delta Troop 175 is that exact someone. Here's this episode's Hero of the Day. Hey, yo, Bates! How you doing, all right?
Hey, son, I'm doing good.
Absolutely.
Good.
Check this guy out.
I tell Bates to do a job, it gets done. I don't have to babysit him. I don't have to give him any ideas because he's just pretty much a jack of all trades. He knows how to operate vehicles. He knows how to weld anything. He knows everything about the metal. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have him.
I joined the Union when I was 20, did 2 years of college. Basically joined there just because a couple of my buddies were joining, and I was like, shoot, why not? So I got into that, put in a few years over there, got my journeyman card, and that's when I found out about the hard hat to helmet program, which that's basically because the Union is a government job also, so they're pro-government, obviously. So I told them I wanted to serve, and they told me about this program, and that's where they hold your rank, they hold your pay status, they hold your retirement, everything basically is put on pause, minus the interest. So everything I've already accrued for my retirement is still collecting interest. So basically, whenever I decide to leave the Army, or whenever my term's up, if I ever do, I get to go back to the same place if I choose to, and everything is exactly the same way as if I never left.
If Bates wasn't here, my life would be a lot harder. The things that we have, we wouldn't have. We wouldn't have such a good shop. The jobs, the quality of work he does, we just wouldn't have it.
You the man, Bates. Thanks for all that you do. And keep up the good work, my friend. All right, now that the Strike Brigade has been in theater for a little bit, a lot of people have come into its AO. Maybe you can even recognize a face or two. Check this out. Combined Task Force Strike has been called the tip of the spear for operations in Afghanistan. And with all the great things the Strike soldiers have been doing, everybody and their mother wants to come say hello. The Strike Brigade's list of distinguished visitors is pretty long and has a lot of notable people on it. Authors, rock stars, media personalities, political figures, and leaders from around the world have all shook hands with the Strike Brigade. Like on June 28th, Canadian Brigadier General John Vance, the Task Force Kandahar commander, came to the Zari district for a battlefield update. Then on June 29th, Brigadier General Frederick Hodges, the Director of Operations for RC South, made one of his many trips to Forward Operating Base Wilson. Dig this. On July 9th, General David Petraeus, the ISAF commander, P4 himself, came to Wilson for a briefing by the strike leaders. Here was a special treat. On August 2nd, the 101st Rock Band, Nuts, came out to play for the strike troops. Rock on, Nuts. On August 6th, Lieutenant General Peter Wall, the commander of the British forces in Afghanistan, came to see what all the talk was about. And then again, P4 stops by the Strike AO on August 16th to see firsthand Strike's continued progress. Good to see you back, sir. A few days later, on August 18th, former Strike warrior, Command Sergeant Major Scott Schroeder, now the 101st CSM, returned to the Strike Brigade for a battlefield update. On August 21st, Lieutenant General David Rodriguez, the commander of ISAF Joint Command, talked and walked with strike soldiers and its leaders. And on September 3rd, the Secretary of Defense, Honorable Robert Gates, made a stop to Combat Outpost Sanjare and hung out with the 1st Strike soldiers during his visit. On September 7th, Command Sergeant Major Hill, the ISAF Command Sergeant Major, spoke with some high-speed strike soldiers and handed out a couple of attaboy coins. General Petraeus couldn't stay away from the strike soldiers for too long, and on October 7th, awarded medals and certificates. He even had a few words to say.
Is that what you are doing is historic. It is extraordinary.
Absolutely, sir. Then about a week later, on October 12th, General George W. Casey, the Army Chief of Staff, the big man himself, awarded more strike soldiers for their actions in Kandahar. Right before the ceremony, Casey had a few things to say to the Strike Brigade. And the day after that, October 13th, Lieutenant General Michael Oates, the director of the Joint IED Defeat Organization, was shown how Strike effectively uses counter-IED devices. He left very impressed. On November 9th, Eagle 7, Command Sergeant Major Schroeder comes back again to visit Strike, along with the 101st Deputy Chief Officer, Brigadier General Stephen Townsend. The two of them patrolled Zari with the Strike soldiers. And this was a big one. Senators John McCain, Joe Lieberman, Lindsey Graham, and Kirsten Gillibrand all flew in on Veterans Day to personally thank the Strike soldiers for their service. Senators, you rock. The list of distinguished visitors is pretty extensive, and as Combined Task Force Strike continues to be a key player in Afghanistan, there's no doubt that it's going to keep extending. Seeing the DVs on the ground in Kandahar means a lot to the Strike soldiers, and their handshakes and sincere thank yous really go a long way. Strike.
Hey, this is Lieutenant Higgins with 101st Airborne out here at Kandahar, and Bob Wilson. I just want to give a quick holiday shout out to my family. I love and miss you, and y'all have a happy new year.
What's up, world? Specialist Covarrubias serving Bob Wilson in Afghanistan. I want to say what's up to everybody in Texas, my California family, and to my wife and daughter. I love y'all, miss y'all. See y'all soon. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye.
Having someone provide guidance during deployment is a necessity. Here's Chaplain Jeff Sheets with your words of wisdom.
Hi, I'm Chaplain Jeff Sheets. I'm the BSTB chaplain, the battalion chaplain for our unit. And today I just want to talk to you a little bit about communicating with your loved ones back home, particularly for the married folks here, or if you've got a significant other. I think sometimes the question comes to us as, okay, we're supposed to communicate to our spouse back home, our significant other, our fiance, our boyfriend, our girlfriend, but what do we talk about? Because sometimes the question goes, well, how was your day? And it's like, well, it's another day in Afghanistan. And how do you move beyond kind of the surface stuff? How do you move down the topical stuff? And one thing I recommend for couples, whether you're married or engaged or you're seeing each other dating, is a book like, for example, The 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work. Whether you're married or not, a book like this will do, if you're both reading it, one who's stateside, the one who's in Afghanistan, it can give you things to talk about, different discussion questions, and some can be fun, some can go a little bit deeper. Some may be talking about deeper things like, what are your dreams, and what are our hopes, and what are things that I'm fearful of, or what are things that I'm proud of, and what is meaningful to me. So again, I would recommend a book, something that you can read, both of you on the same page, literally, and you can talk about it whether it's by email, by letters, or by phone. And the other question that I often have too is how often to talk, or the question of sometimes you feel like we have technology with computers, with phones, and we also have snail mail. But I think sometimes people feel tied, like how many times do I talk to my spouse each week, or I feel like I've got to IM them every day. And so what I would do, depending on your situation, if you're lying, if the soldier's on the line where you're out in a COP and you don't necessarily have access to a computer all the time, talk with your spouse. Hey, I'll try to send a letter every other week or once a week, but what can work in your situation? A soldier who's at a big FOB may have access to a lot of communication tools, but may not be able to get on a computer, or feel like it may be a lot of work to cut out an hour or 30 minutes every day to talk to each other. So I guess the point in all of that is, give yourself some space not get, I call spouse fatigue, where you're feeling you got to call every day or communicate or write every day. But sometimes having a break or 2-3 days or whatever works for your situation, that you don't feel that you're overwhelmed by having to communicate all the time. Because sometimes it's good to have a day or two where you don't feel like you have to run to the computer and sit and type up a letter, because you just may be tired, or or other things may be going on. So that would be one other bit of advice I would throw out. I'm Chaplain Jeff Sheets, the BSTB chaplain, and this has been Words of Wisdom.